We live in a time of incredible progress. With a few taps on a screen, we can order food, talk to anyone in the world, or scroll through endless entertainment. Yet, despite all this comfort, many people feel anxious, lonely, and dissatisfied. We have everything we thought we wanted, but somehow it isn't enough. Maybe happiness isn't something we can buy or chase. Maybe it's something we have to understand. Thousands of years ago, philosophers asked the same question we still ask today. What does it mean to live a good life? In ancient Greece, Aristotle believed that happiness wasn't about pleasure or possessions. It was about living with virtue. He taught that true happiness, or eudaimonia, comes from developing good character, practicing wisdom and doing what's right, not just what feels good. To Aristotle, happiness wasn't a fleeting emotion. It was the result of living well every day. Around the same time, on the other side of the world, the Buddha was teaching that happiness doesn't come from getting what we want, but from letting go of constant craving. He saw that suffering arises from attachment, the need for things to stay the same, the fear of loss, and the desire for more. His message was simple but powerful. Everything changes. Pleasure fades, pain passes, and peace comes when we stop clinging and start accepting. Later in Rome, the Stoic philosophers added another layer to this wisdom. Epictetus, once a slave, taught that the key to happiness lies in knowing what we can and cannot control. We can't control other people, luck, or the weather, but we can control our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic thinker, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." His words remind us that peace begins when we stop fighting reality and start managing our own responses to it. Across these different philosophies, a common truth appears. Happiness is an inner state, not an external reward. It's not found in wealth, fame, or comfort, but in perspective. The Stoics focus on self-control, Buddhists on acceptance, and Aristotle on balance, all pointing to the same timeless idea: peace comes from within. Aristotle called it the golden mean, a balanced life between extremes. Courage, for example, sits between cowardice and recklessness. Generosity lies between stinginess and waste. In a world that constantly pushes us to do more, have more, and be more, this idea of balance feels revolutionary. It reminds us that happiness doesn't come from excess, but from harmony, between work and rest, ambition and gratitude, solitude and connection. Even modern science agrees with these ancient lessons. Studies show that after our basic needs are met, more money doesn't make us much happier. What does meaningful relationships, purpose, kindness, and gratitude? These are the same values that ancient philosophers lived by long before psychology had a name for them. So how do we apply this wisdom today? We start small. Focus only on what you can control. Be mindful of the present moment. Appreciate the things you already have instead of chasing what you don't. Practice balanced work, but don't overwork. Care for others, but take care of yourself too. And when life changes, as it always does, try to flow with it instead of resisting it. Happiness isn't a constant state or a final destination. It's a skill, one that grows with patience and practice. Some days it comes easily, other days it's harder to find. But the ancient philosophers remind us that even in difficulty, peace is possible. It doesn't depend on perfect circumstances, but on how we meet them, with clarity, gratitude, and calm. Maybe the secret of happiness was never lost. It's been waiting for us all along, hidden in plain sight, in old books, quiet moments, and simple acts of kindness. The same wisdom that guided people through wars, plagues, and hardships can still guide us through the chaos of modern life. Happiness isn't about escaping problems or chasing pleasure. It's about living with purpose, embracing change, and finding balance between what we can control and what we can't. When we understand that, we stop running after happiness and start living it.